Writers Contest, and I'm glad to be here today, having something to do with Fahrenheit 451. I don't know how to fill you in, but I don't know if you know much about me as a writer. I do not write my stories write me. Fahrenheit 451 began, but I didn't know it. Back in 1950, I went for a walk with my friend on a Wilshire Boulevard restaurant. I came out at 10 o'clock, and we were walking along the boulevard, and a police car pulled up, and the police got out of the car and came over and said, "Sir, what are you doing?" I said, "Putting one foot in front of the other." He said, "Don't you realize there are no pedestrians in that direction, 10 miles, in that direction, no miles, Wilshire Boulevard, not one pedestrian." I was walking with my friends, and the policeman kept talking to me. He was very upset with me for walking on Wilshire Boulevard. And as he talked to me, I took a package of soda crackers from my pocket. I put them in my mouth. I chewed on the soda crackers, and I sprayed his uniform with crackers. He didn't quite know what I was doing without being progressive. He brushed away the cracker crumb. He said, "Go home and don't do it." I said, "Yes, sir. I'll go home and remove my legs." So I got home that night. I sat down and wrote a short story called "The Pedestrian." I published it in the Reporter magazine. And then a year later, when I was writing, I went to UCLA. I discovered they had a room down in the basement of the library there where I could rent a typewriter for 10 cents a half an hour. I needed to have an office. I couldn't afford to buy one, but here was one I could have for 10 cents a half an hour. So I moved in with a bag of dimes, and I began to write any old thing. But the pedestrian in my typewriter went out for another walk, and in the night he bumped into a girl named Clarice McClellan. And Clarice McClellan, this character inside my head, said to him, "Sir, I wonder if you are what I think you are." He said, "What?" She says, "I smell the kerosene on your uniform. You must be Montag, the man up the street who's the burner of books." He said, "I am." And then she kept talking, and she wrote Fahrenheit 451. The very first version occurred because she talked to my pedestrian, you see. And then in the next 9 days, I spent $9.80 in dimes, and I wrote the first version of Fahrenheit 451 called